Hello everyone and welcome to my Climb series where I am the main character for all the really wrong reasons. So, get into the game here. Let's look at the teams. Oh yeah, we're going to turn this off for a moment. You can see it's kind of an action-packed game as you can see already. Anyway, let's get into this one. Go over the teams. On the blue team, we have Yone in the top lane. Shen is going to be the jungler. Kennen, the mid laner. Misfortune, bot carry, and Senna the support. On the red team, we have Garen in the top lane. Poppy's going to be the jungler. Viger, the mid laner. Zeri, the bot carry. And Orianna, the support. So, I'm going to, of course, as always point out, I am going to be the Zeri in this game. I'm a bit miffed about this pick, if I remember correctly, because it's a bit of an awkward one, honestly. Let's look how this one develops anyway. Yeah, you can kind of see the situation, and yeah, this is just kind of how it goes. Kind of looking for something about around the Viger, and here's, if you look at the mini map, you see I'm alone there, and Orianna's just sitting by the tower. I don't know why. I think I will never understand that one, because honestly, in my feeling, it's just giving up a lot of priority that you don't really want to give up, and gives Senna a lot of playroom as well. And Orianna's just doing nothing, puts down a ward, and that's it, really. A very awkward start for me because, well, I can't really do much about it, but I get kind of pressured out there. I can get a bit of damage in there, but I have to take all this damage by them. Yeah, basically that's kind of how I felt about the lane. And with that, you kind of get a bit of a random disadvantage here completely. I don't remember, actually. In my mind, I'm pretty sure that the Orianna had to be dueling with somebody in normally mid lane, honestly. To support Orianna it can work, yes, I will say so, but I don't really feel like that's the pick you really want to have. You see how it gives the enemy bot lane a lot of pressure there as well, so you can't really do much about it, but hey, it is what it is in this case. That's kind of how we have to play it out. Well, then that's how it kind of goes right now. We're seeing Yo goes pretty heavy onto the Garen. Garen goes for the silence and the spinning there. Quite a bit of something on the Yone, but it's dropping very low. Once again, the pressure is being extended further and further here in the bot lane. Orianna to take a few hits there, but not really much about that one. That's kind of like, I feel like the big issue we have here right now. One side is getting pressured out quite a bit here, which is going to be very interesting how you want to play this out at the end, especially with how everything goes along right now. Oh, Yogos wants to get onto the Garen. Garen gets another silence in, but still not very, very close on both sides. Honestly, right now, Seri is trying to find some farm here. Is surprisingly in the lead, I would say, actually, with everything that went on here. Surprisingly. And it feels like really a bit of a rough lane. TP coming in from the Orianna. Pretty far forward. I'm not too sure that would be the TP. Shen does see that. And you can see them moving in completely. The Orianna has to flash there. Chon comes on to the Orianna. Orianna's trapped up there and completely wiped out. And I would say, holy moly, what was that play? And flashes over there, but Poppy doesn't give him a chance to get out of jail. And that is a death there. And that was a bit of a rough one, honestly. And that shows quite a bit right now how hard it's going to go about this one right now. I was checking on something for a moment because I was like, I remember the Orianna game, but like pretty bad. And it seems like that was one of the games lately played. It wasn't really good. I'm pretty sure that other duo, actually, weirdly enough, I would have said that was a duo, but nope. Solo into this game, weirdly enough. Okay, Interesting play there. However, right now we do see them moving back right now, bringing themselves into a position where you could handle the game probably better right now. There he's playing it very careful because honestly, well, you got this Orianna in your lane and you're not really sure how you want to play this one out completely. I say that as the Zeri player in this game. I do remember my thought process being I can't really do much about this one. I'd rather play it safe and get as much as I can really out of this one while having to force through the laning phase because, well, I don't really have the trust of this Orianna in me, especially after that TP. That was a very atrocious TP. I don't even know why that was done here. You see Poppy sitting in the back there, getting on top of there, getting a good position in there, gets a slow onto the Misfortune. Misfortune barely holding on here. Does get a smited as well. Heal comes out of there as well. Not enough there, and Poppy puts her down. There's a big rotation coming in there. It has to be very dangerous. Careful about this one, but no, nothing really about that one. There he manages to farm up there. Kennen is trying to push in here. Goes on to the Orianna. Does get in there. Quite a bit of a situation here. Poppy's not looking good either right now. They do get the root onto the Poppy. This could become very dangerous. There is the taunt now onto the Poppy as well. She's doing what she can really to hold on here. Veigar does put down the Shen with the Zeri together, but that is what they can really do in this one. There's a trade here. Rihanna goes down to the Kennen, and now Zeri and Veigar have to move away after everything that went on there. And this is kind of like the problem I feel like with this game right now. You have the Orianna. As I said, normally I would say mid lane Orianna, pretty good player to have around you. However, you don't have in this game a mid lane Orianna. You have a you have a support Orianna, and I hate to say it this way. It feels like the Orianna doesn't really know what she's supposed to do, like as a support. Poppy's trying to get on top of that and gets on top of the Yone. Yone is dropping pretty low, and Poppy just puts him out of his misery. Okay, that was a play. Rihanna's trying to move away right now. Zeri is just trying to look for a situation to farm up here right now because there's not much you can really do as a Zeri, especially with now the Orianna sitting in mid. I really don't get this one, honestly. Because it just feels a bit of a wrong play. Pushes in the wave, helps the Kennen out actually more with that wave push out than really giving the Veigar room to play around this. However, I gotta be honest, as a Zeri, I was fine with this one. I know that I don't really have anything to do about that one, and you can see the rotation goes further even. I think I was pretty fine with this one. If I don't remember how completely it goes out of there, I do know that I do have some deaths on the cards here right now. Okay, Orianna gets that throw on top of the Garen, but this is where you really need a level 6 on your Orianna. Because otherwise that ball would have been great. You could have had the delivery put in there. And just ult the Yone out of there completely. Pull him into the Garen. Garen could have done more with that one. Just casually put it down there. But Orianna's just trying to force some pressure. I don't know why. However, the other person who's going to force pressure now is the Poppy. And that's going to be a better play here. Yona's now trapped there. Gets the ult through. But still Poppy puts him down. And managed to get out of tower range as well. So perfect play there for this team right now. And you can really see how it goes here. You see top side is completely under the red team's control, while the blue team have the bot side under control. We're at 9 minutes into this game. It's 4-5 in favor of the red team, who have about a 700 gold lead, and Orianna's now taking a tower shot. The one thing that does become very annoying with this play right now is that with the Orianna moving into the position where the Orianna is, it gets your bot carry into a position where they just have to try to farm as much as you can, but they don't really have the, I don't want to say pressure, but really the room to play outside, especially with the Misfortune sent out lane. That's quite a bit of pressure that you can't really take if you are Zeri, or most of the carries, honestly, to be completely honest about that one, you don't take this pressure pretty well as the different carry. There's Zeri just get hit there. There's another ult there from the Miss Fortune and the Senna, and Zeri can't really do much about that one. Zeri has to move out of this lane completely right now because she took all that damage in. Now Orianna comes in with the TP, not really much to be done about that one, but it just kind of looks very interesting how this lane plays out completely in this game right now. As Hubris done Miss Fortune, Miss Fortune does have about a 16 CS lead right now, which is about equates to almost 3 waves, which makes a lot of sense with how long Orianna was on the road. So, with the bot lane duo on the blue team staying together, it gives them a lot of room to play this one out completely here. Orianna once again with the roam. The thing is, I understand what the plan is with the roams. It's just like how to. It feels like committing to something that doesn't exist at that point. After it kind of goes over. It's like you said, okay, I got this. I need to keep this going, otherwise I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. That's how it feels like right now with this Yone coming in here. With the Orianna right now. Yone goes in onto the Garen, but Garen just ults there, and Kennen gets it out as well. And okay, that forced out the Shen ult. That is a very interesting thing. Shen ult has left the building. Very, very spectacular, to be honest. And this is what I feel really about the roam, kind of in a way, because Orianna is not really doing anything to really cement anything. Meanwhile, the bot lane is getting pushed further and further in. There just has to figure out how to get the farm in as much as you can, really. Garen now with the proxy wave, keeping up the pressure. If Yone comes in there, there's probably going to be a takedown here completely out of this one. Yone sees that one. Poppy does flash in, misses the flash in a bit of a situation, to be honest. Oh, Orianna's once again in the bot lane, actually. Surprise, surprise. Color me really surprised here. There he's putting in a lot of pressure on top of this one, but still nothing comes about that one. There is the misfortune. Then a flash is there, gets another auto in there, but not enough, and Orianna just walked away. Orianna just walked out of that fight. Completely. I don't know what to say about that otherwise. I mean, I get that if you're Orianna, you didn't want to get caught out there, but honestly, it just looked like that the Orianna just went like, you know what? Screw the Zeri. If she dies, she dies. I'm gonna do my thing, and that's kind of how this whole game felt. And I don't like hating really on a support, because I know that a lot of the supports, when they do really well, you can really see it developing. I just don't see it in this game right now with the Orianna's playing. Gotta be completely honest about that one. I don't know why, but it's just kind of like, just doesn't click. It just doesn't click. It's a bit of an awkward situation, but it just doesn't click. Now once again, walking into the mid lane, forcing the Viger to share EXP as well. Oh, Yone has to find a way out of this one. The Garen got pretty heavily on there. Yone ult comes out of there, still trying to do his damage. He has to find a way out of this one. The Garen does get the ult, but it's not enough. He was trying to find something, gets ignited as well, so he's now has to find a way away from this one. Flashes. Oh, Garen goes on that one with a slap there. Right now, Poppy's creating a lot of pressure here on top of the Senna. Senna's trying to find a way out of this one. However, she's being chased down pretty heavily here, and Poppy gets on top of that one and takes her out. Kennen and Misfortune do have to watch that happen. I can imagine somebody's not happy about what happened there. Drake is up, so this would be an opportunity for the red team to pick up their first Drake. It's the second Drake of the game. We're about 14-30 into the matchup. 4 kills still on the blue side, and the red team have taken 3 more, so it's 8-4 right now. We've got about a 2,500 lead for blue as well. you look at the itemization, you can kind of see bot lane, Zeri's pretty behind. Makes sense with how everything went about there. And otherwise, the rest of the game is a lead for the red side everywhere else. As I said, it feels kind of understandable what happened here. Once again, Orianna just doing something that makes no sense, but that's been kind of the name of the game for this Orianna here. I think it's Echoes of Helia, but I'm not 100% sure. We do see the Senna going with the Static Shiv there. That's the Echoes of Helia, so that's one item there down for that. Oh, Kennen goes in there completely, gets a good stun off there, and Poppy dies on that position there. Orianna and Garen are looking for a movement in here. The Rift Herald is still up there. Yone is very, very low. There could be an opportunity. Yone goes down there. Right now, Kennen tries to find a way out of this one, but Garen is looking for that one. Presses R and puts him down. Played a rune count now for the Yone done. However, the bigger problem is going to be that everything else is developing in favor of red team right now. They did take down the Poppy, but it's still 5-10 right now in favor of this red team, and they're trying to push their lead further and further. It's about a 3,000 gold lead right now, which is a bit of a surprise, to be honest, about this one. There are a lot of they can't really find much pressure on top of this Rift Herald because there's a lot riding on this one for this red team. They're bringing themselves into position. Root on that one. Tries to go in with the taunt. The Shen does get it on the Garen, but not the smite there, and he is gone out of that one. No opportunity whatsoever to play this one out. And now that means the blue team have now a Rift Herald against them. EP comes in from the Viger onto the mid lane. Yone is pressuring the Zeri out, but Zeri has been playing this very carefully. Didn't have a great support play there, so had to just find the farm here completely out of this one. Bit of a rough situation, I would say. But once in a while these games pop up. If you keep your mind correctly, as I am doing right now, I feel like you can really do a lot with this. Because while it's not looking very good what's going on here, it's still fine with what's going on. Oh, that was a good Q there. Put a lot of damage into the Senna here. Lane is going in favor. Kennen looking for an opportunity here, but nothing to be had. Zeri is being in a position, has to be very careful about this one. Yone is still pushing up here. Goes in on top of the Zeri, takes quite a bit of damage out of the Zeri. Zeri is barely holding on here. Yone is trying to do what he can to get the Zeri here. However, not much about that one. Jumps over the wall there. Jumps into the arms of the rest of the team, and Viger says, "Hello, Yone, and give me some money." This is a big part of what's going on right now, that you can see quite a bit of play coming about. 12-5 right now for the red team. The lead is slowly growing, and why do you use that there? That was just steals coming out of there for nothing whatsoever. That was a good shockwave in there for nothing. And this is where I was really kind of weirded out by this one. I mean, I don't even think I saw that during the game itself, because I was just like, okay, I've got to farm up, I got to find my room, got to do what I got to do. Orianna goes in with the charge, does get the hit there, is in a awkward situation there, but they do get a good hit on top of that one as well. The push is coming through there. Misfortune finds Poppy. Poppy's in a bit of a precarious situation, trying to get their steps away from that one. As I said, I don't really feel the... I mean, good Orianna player probably as a support can be really valuable. Problem is, I don't feel this with this Orianna. Oh, there's a good trap being set up there. Shen is looking for an opportunity, but Viger just puts that one into the dirt. And now Shen is in a bad situation as well. There is a lot coming at riding on this one. There is the dash away there. Tower does go down, so there's some room open up there. Viger's in a bad position there. Has to be very careful. He even gets on top of him. He does get rooted up. There's the Zeri ult as well. in with the ult on top of them. Shen comes in there as well as Shockwave. This was a good one though, and Garen puts down the Shen. Poppy gets a kill onto the Yone. Zez trying to find a way out of this one, and Zeri does pick up the kill here and gets out of dodge here completely. Kennen trying to answer this one, completely jumps away here now. Trying to find a way out of this one, but Poppy is thinking about disengaging, going for the Drake, which would be the optimal choice. Okay, this Veigar is just greedy. So first item was the Luden's Echo and immediately into the death cap. I mean, if you have the money, it's kind of fine, I would say, but it does look pretty greedy. Don't let it. Well, Misfortune pops the bullet time, but no chance to take that one. So with 16-7 at about 20 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll look at the itemization right now. We got a Blade of the Rune King on the Yone. He does have the Berserker Greaves as well. Garen has the Berserker Greaves as well as the Threadbreaker and Phantom Dancer in the hand. Has even a Mortal Reminder, so there's not going to be much life steal out of the Yone for that as well. And Eclipse Senna as well, so don't forget that one as well there. Oh, Garen goes on top of them. Oh, the Senna, the Misfortune of the Senna gets hit by the Veigar, and that's just 2 down once again here. And the Shen has right now, what was it? Sunfire Cape? Sunfire Aegis. Okay, Sunfire Aegis and the Merc Treads. Well, the Poppy has right now the Sundered Sky, the Dead Man's Plate, and the Plated Steel Caps. Kennen has the Proto Belt and the Spellslinger Shoes, while the Veigar has the Spellslinger Shoes, the Luden's Echo, and the Deathfire Cap already on hand. Misfortune comes in with the Hubris and the Collector, while Zeri is there with the Storm Razor and the Phantom Dancer. And now we're in the spot where I would say right now we do see the Senna with the Static Shiv and the Swifty Boots. Well, Orianna does have a bit of more items, because Echoes Helia's Echo, was it? Echoes of Helia? Echoes of Helia and Iron Sensor on there, as well as the Sorcerer's Shoes. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting situation. We're about 20-30 into this match, and it's 7-18 in favor of the red team still, and we're seeing a lot more. We're seeing about a 6,000 gold lead, which is pretty rough if you're the blue team here right now. You gotta figure out a way to not completely lose your footing on this one. Senna's trying to get a root up there. It's the Veigar, but they can't really follow up much on this one. Right now a bit pressed, and now you gotta figure out a way. How do they want to play this one out completely here? Because there's not much you can really do if you're the red team, the blue team right now, because you kind of have to find a way to get a fight that looks good for you. The Yone is going for a pretty hard push into the top lane. Oh, Misfortune goes out of her way for the bullet time, but gets hit by the Primordial Burst, if I remember the name correctly there. Garen goes in with the sword, puts him down as well. Demacian Justice has been delivered to the Senna, and that is another one down. Yone is going for the push right now. Good taunt on top of the Garen, but Garen's kind of fine with this one. Senna has picked up Black Cleaver. And still, the turret is getting pressured pretty heavily here. Yone did get the recall there. However, while that's happening, the blue team have lost their inhibitor turret on the bot side and the inhibitor itself. This is going to be a very rough situation to handle overall right now. Digger Armguard for the Veigar. He's going in to get a bit of protection, which is very interesting as the next choice, to be honest. Otherwise, both teams are still looking to hold this one up right now. Yone gets trapped in a bad situation, goes for the ult there, has lost a lot of HP already. There is the Veigar ult. They do claim Veigar's life here, but this is a very awkward situation. Shockwave comes through there, and they are caught out pretty badly there. Bit of a bad overextension there, and I don't know, trusting the Orianna is a bad choice, I would say, most of the time right now in this game. However, Garen is Garen and he doesn't let himself be threatened by that one. Meanwhile, Zeri is pushing in the top inhibitor turret. That's a very interesting choice if there's going to be an answer completely here. Doesn't look like it right now, and Zeri actually claims the turret and just walks away. So another situation where the blue team kind of take a double front fight and there's no chance to get really out of it. Seeker's Arm Guard now on the Kennen as well. I mean, he really needs it, honestly. Because he needs to get his ult off and be very secure, because that's been a big problem right now, how it's been going on here. So 25, 30, 20 to 9 in favor of the red team. Still about the... it's about a 5,000 gold lead right now. That's going to be this third Drake for the red team if nothing crazy happens here, and that's going to be the Drake. So they've got now soul point with the next Drake, depending on if they even need it or if they can finish off on another perspective as well. And Yone is just pushing the top side and trying to do some about it. Zeri's just catching the wave. Pushing there as well. Poppy's just going aggressive here. There's a recall coming in there. Ken kind of sold out the Yone. This is a bit of an awkward situation. There comes the ult here. Ken tries to get out there. Hits the button, and that's a chance right now. Yone trying to put some more pressure on there, and they both get out of there. Claim the life of the Garen, but still, it's not really much that they did for that one. Garen, who has now the reminder, Shockwave comes in there, knock away, kick back from the Poppy, gets her down as well. So Miss Fortune overextends there, pays the price, and that's just what the book is writing. And you're still going for the push. A bit of an interesting situation, to be honest, about this one. The blue team do find their 1-2 picks right now, but the problem is after these 1-2 picks, they pay a big price for these 1-2 picks and just get obliterated there. Senna just going for the wave is a bit of an interesting choice, gotta be honest about this one. They're now trying to find a way out of this completely. The big problem right now for this blue team is that, as I said, they're down about, right now, down about 11 kills. And there's about a 5,000 gold lead still hanging on their heads right now. And you can see the Zeri has caught up quite nicely there. Has actually out-farmed most of the time right now, the Miss Fortune, which is a funny situation to be in there. The most even lane is kind of the top lane. Oh, there's the ult from Yone. He's going to go in there, but there's a Domestic Justice, and not enough. And that's a kill for the Yone. A solo bolo he got off of that one. That's a bit of a surprise, to be honest. But as I did say, that's the part where actually the goal is the most even right now. A lot of pressure being put up here right now. It's 28 minutes into this game, and a lot is still going to go on here, I feel like, right now. It could be a chance to immediately pick up a fight, and that would honestly probably win the red team this game immediately, but you can see kind of the pressure coming up there. Fortune gets caught out of there. Shockwave comes in there. Does not get a good hit for that one. Poppy's trying to get on top as much as he can. All the time being thrown out of there, and they do get the inhibitor, so that's another inhibitor. So Megas are going to come in soon if this game goes on right now, and that's going to probably be the point of contention right now they're going to go for. And yes, that is it, and right now it's going to be very interesting how this one develops for them. Ever an inhibitor just spawns, so that's not very long here. Yone tries to fight off the Garen. Managed to do that one, and Shen saved his life with that ult there. Let's be honest about that one completely here. That was a bit of a save completely there. You're looking for some more money here. Oh, good ult from the Poppy. They're trying to get some pressure onto Ken. Ken tries to hit the ult, gets nothing out of this one. Shen is in an interesting situation, taking a lot of damage from Zeri here. Zeri does activate that blast cone, which is a good option, honestly, right now. Tries to get over the wall. It comes in as well. Shockwave comes out. That's Orianna claiming a kill. I'm not really sure if you would be happy about that one. But it is what it is right now. There's a knock into the wall for the Ken, and Ken tries to get out there. Poppy's a bit over aggressively there. Can't really back it up that much, and right now, Viger tries to come in there, tries to do something, but there's not much to be done about that one. Zeri going for the recall would be a good opportunity to actually do this right now. From my side, I would say it's not really a bloodthirsty match for me. Because with 2-0-6, I'm not really doing much, but I'm having a good farm game. I look at what's going on here right now. The farm game is looking good. Could be better, of course. I would wholeheartedly sign that off completely, but it's in a good spot right now. With 12 to 22, this could be one of the big last fights here right now. There's the root up and the bullet time on top of the Orianna, who bit spice the dust here. Garen tries to get a bit more aggressive there. Not much to be done about that one. Drake has spawned in the meantime. This could be a very interesting situation to handle around this one completely here. Zeri and Poppy are wrapping around. They do want to go for his dragon because they do know that the blue team have to go for this one. They don't have the option of really giving that one up. Shen tries to get in top of there. No Tongue comes through there. Gets root up there as well. This is a good chance there. There comes the Zeri ult as well. A lot of is going on. The lightning is coming in there. A lot of damage should be put on top of that one. Senna and Misfortune have to run away there. And the Primordial Burst did put another damper on this one. And that's going to be soul point for this red team. And there looks like there's DP from the Orianna just going into the mid lane. I'm not too sure you really want to do this one. Orianna's taking quite a bit of damage. Senna did respawn now. There's another opportunity about this one. And I said I don't really feel like the Orianna thought the play really through. Viger is now trying to push the envelope. I feel like if you just group up and go for the Baron, you're done. Garen now TPing bot side as well, so this is getting really awkward, to be honest, completely about this one. Misfortune gets caught out there, completely taken out of there. Garen takes quite a bit of damage here. This should still be a disengage right now, I feel like, for the red team. However, they're not going to go for this one. Kenny gets a great 3-man ult there, puts them down. Garen falls to that one. Viger's now the lone survivor here. Poppy's now coming in there, trying to help out, and Zeri's now coming in as well, so they're trying to even out whatever happened there. Infinity Edge now for the Misfortune there. Yone is taking quite a bit of damage, has to back away there. Half HP on the Nexus there, and it looks really like the red team do have to disengage for a moment here and give the blue team a bit of breathing room. They do want to probably finish this one off, but they can't yet do that. So Zeri and the group are going to go for the Baron. There's nobody really disrupting them. Baron is already half HP this one. Not really much they can do about this one, but still the gold looks pretty close despite everything that's going on. We're 26 to 15, so about almost, it's 11 kills lead for the red team, but the gold lead is only about 1,000, a bit less than 5,000, which is very surprising right now with how everything went down this game. That's really an interesting spot about this one, to be honest. And right now the blue team are holding on as much as they can, but the red team are going to come in now. Garen does not have the Baron buff. Misfortune is caught completely in no man's land. I don't know what you're going to play. Finds the wall once again. Shockwaves come through there and Poppy puts it down. That's the first inhibitor once again down here. Yone comes in with the ult. There's the lightning coming in there as well. Kennen is trying to get as much stuns as he can really for this one. Now Shen is there as well, so Viger gets completely caught out in this fight right now, which is a bit of an awkward situation, to be honest. And now they're looking to pressure the Poppy. Zeri did have to back away because they were 4-man chasing her already, so he does not want to be part of that one. Nexus is still exposed, as we know. We're looking at this positioning right now. More to remind on the Zeri, so 4 items on the Zeri. Meanwhile, Misfortune has 3 items. So if we have a short moment, we should probably go over the items now before the game ends. We look at the Yone right now. He has an Infinity Edge. That stands. Oh, Yone finds the Orianna, and she's just. Ooh, she barely leaves that one. Nope, she doesn't leave that one, actually. Okay. Well, that happened. So, what were we going over? We have an Infinity Edge, Death Stance. We got the Blade of the Rune King, a Shield Bow, and the Berserker Treads. While the Garen has the Infinity Edge, Stripe Breaker, Mortal Reminder, Phantom Dancer, and the Berserker Greaves. For the Shen, we got Sunfire Aegis, we got the Spirit Visage, and Unending Despair. No, not Unending Despair, Endless. No, it is Unending Despair. The other was Endless Hunger. That was the word I had in mind right at that moment, but okay. Then the Poppy has Sundered Sky, Dead Man's Plate, Force of Nature. That word for that. Randuin's Omen and the Plated Seal Cap. So an interesting build up there. And now we see the Kennen with his lovely, lovely Zhonya's. Shadow Flame, Proto Belt, and the Spellslinger Boots. Meanwhile, the Viger is sitting on the Bravadon's Death Cap, Zhonya's. Rip Bloom, Loon's Echo, and the Tear. That is done. Finish the Tear item, my guy. Finish it! This triggers me slightly. Then we see the Misfortune with the Hubris, the Collector, Infinity Edge, and of course the Swiftness Boots. While the Zeri has the Infinity Edge, Storm Razor, Mortal Reminder, Phantom Dancer, and the Gluttonous Greaves. Senna with the Static Shiv, the Black Cleaver, Rapid Fire Cannon, Swiftness Boots. Oh, there Ken goes in there, completely gets on top of a lot of people there. That's one kill on top of the Viger. Orianna falls as well, and that's a bit of an overextension, I would say, right now. Ken tries to look for some blood here, completely there, but Poppy puts him down there. Garen gets a kill on top of that one as well, but can't sustain the Shen and that one. And we see the red team once again not completely finding the play there, and we are about now almost 37 minutes into the game. That's one Nexus turret gone, and the lead has been melting along the way. We're only at 2,000 gold lead right now, and you can kind of see it's developing. You can see that the Kennen is coming closer. We see the Yone has actually surpassed the Garen. Shen and Poppy are about 2,000 away out of each other, and there are quite a few spots where you can kind of see them coming back in there, and that's a bit of a dangerous situation. We do have the Elder spawning. This could be the big game changer right now. Poppy and Zeri are sitting in a position to look what can happen right now. The Yone gets knocked into the wall, tries to find a way out of this one, goes for the ult, gets on top of the Zeri. Zeri's dropping pretty low there. This could actually be her death, and it is her death. That's a kill for the Yone. However, Yone is in a bad situation, still gets Root up there, Root on top of the Poppy. Shockwave goes out, didn't go out. Okay, I thought the Shockwave went out there. It looked like the Shockwave, but it was just the E there for Orianna. So, still, Elder is right now on the board. Garen is rooted up there. Senna gets caught there completely there, almost immediately annihilated there. Garen gets on top there. Ult comes out of it. Kennen gets a great ult there, gives the bullet time a lot of work there. Misfortune gets caught out there, completely exploded there. Oh, not the good knock into the Viger. Viger doesn't really want to play that way. Shen is holding on as much as he can. Garen is not doing good as well. There's a lot of damage being put on top of this one. The push is looking right now a bit of a wonky one. Shen falls. There he could be the next, will be the next player to respawn in this whole mess right now, and there's a lot going on for this one. Nibiter has respawned there, but Viger and Garen are looking for the push here. Zeri, meanwhile, is just going to clear out the wave, so nothing can go wrong completely with that one. Senna versus the world. 18 seconds still on the clock till the next person comes into the play. Right now, Garen is holding on as much as he can. Senna does survive this one. Takes quite a bit of damage there already. Garen looking for the put here. Gets the spin, and that's it. The Nexus is going to fall now, and GG 34-24 for the red team. And with that, I win, and we get some more LP. So, a little side note right now, because this episode is going to go up tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be doing a stream from about 2 to, I would say, maybe 6, yeah? If nothing goes right, I will post on Twitter as well. But that's what I'm going to do. So, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. And goodbye and good night.